this is a little workshop on GPT 4.0. I specify this version because the leap from GPT 3.5 is quite substantial. 3.5 is like an undergraduate student, I'd say, with a strong grasp of a lot of subjects, but still some limitations and kind of clunky. GPT-4 would be akin to one of the world's leading experts in every discipline you could possibly think of. Not only does it know more, but it can also understand and analyze complexities at a much, much deeper level. And 4.0 that hit on Monday is supposed to be twice as fast and even cheaper. So there's a lot of cool stuff that's coming out every single day. All right, so let's dive in. We already know that. We already know that. We already know that. You know about me. Okay, this is where we're going to go. Important notes. Be ready for a rapid pace. Except, of course, I'm fading, so I need my matcha latte. This is going to get a little messy, y'all. That is in my notes. Take screenshots, capture anything you find useful as we go. You'll see in the resource section, thank you for that laugh, I appreciate it. You'll see in the resource section, I've got a couple screenshots that you can download, some simple prompts. You'll upload that image into GPT-4, it'll read it and interpret it for you, and then there's a layering prompt that we'll do later on as well. Disclaimer, any mentions I make of certain products are not any particular endorsements, they're just things that I like. And we're going to aim for ending around 3:10 Eastern, which is going to come very fast. When you use new products and services that have AI involved, always check the terms of services. You want to make sure that you know what you're getting into before you're using any tool. Well, we talked a lot earlier about why this matters. I will mention Hector Garcia had a great comparison for me when I interviewed him on my podcast, The Concierge CPA. He compared the evolution of AI in advisory services to the transition from horses to cars. So at one time, horses were normal, cars were the luxury service, right? Or luxury item. That has flipped now. Cars are standard, horses have become the luxury item. And so you can think of this like AI and human intelligence too. So humans are the baseline, AI becomes the luxury. That's going to flip just real soon, y'all. AI is going to become the baseline in all the tools we use, whether we know it or not. And the human expertise and knowledge is what's really going to take you to the next level, using it to its greatest ability. All right. Welcome to my brain on AI. Seriously, this is a word cloud of all the uses of GPT-4 I used it for in like 1 month, about 6-7 months ago. I want to give you a few highlights to spur your creative juices. For work, there's nothing it can't do, really. I have it helping me with a TEDx script. I have it writing hybrid job descriptions. I had it update an ROI guide. I make AI tool lists with it. I do scripts for videos and educational content, sponsorship kits or emails that I want to send out and have some good standardization. Ethics proposal that it created a checklist for me for a Journal of Accounting article I wrote about using AI. And probably the thing nearest and dearest to my heart that I mention is more personal things that it can do. So when a family member permanently lost their short-term memory last year, very unique, odd circumstances, GPT-4 came to the right conclusion of diagnosing that person's problem before any doctor could. I loaded like hundreds of reports and brain scans and all this stuff. No, do not use GPT-4 to diagnose every condition, but it will help you. It's a brainstormer tool. what you put in, you're going to get really good stuff back. Okay. So the list goes on and on. If you have a particular favorite thing to use natural language processing systems for, which is like GPT-4, pop it in the chat. I would love to see a long list going and some like big aha moments between our crowd here. Now let's get into some starter prompts. This is what's in your resources section, or you can just take a screenshot of your screen right now. And we're going to hop over into ChatGPT. And what I did is I attached that image and said that we're going to walk through those prompts. It kind of feels like you're getting naked when you share your GPT-4. I don't know if others feel like that, but like if you start looking at all the stuff I put on the left, those pictures I created for Sarah Thompson earlier in the intro and future of accounting session, that was all GPT-4 generated. The scripts I came up with, a bunch of the slides were generated by AI as well. Okay. So what I did here, like I said, is I used the attach button, and I'm using GPT-4o, and you can tell if you have it by the model that it's showing in the top corner. Be careful. Sometimes it will try to automatically put you on a lower model, and then you're talking to it and you're like, this doesn't sound smart. And then you realize it was on the wrong model. Now, it used to be where you had to create a new chat to get on a different model. Now you can actually just flip between them here within your same chat. Also, it has memory now when it didn't before. There are custom prompts that you can put in to say, hey, know that I'm Jackie Meyer. Remember my conversations. So it's evolved so much since February 2023 when GPT-4 first came out. So I've loaded my image. I attached it here. I said, let's do each of these for Meyer Tax, my CPA firm. And it says, great, let's go through each of these. And this took seconds, y'all. I just preloaded it because I didn't want to waste the time. So first thing is motivational messages. So what I do like to do is break bigger things down into smaller topics. So I'll say, give me numbered guides for each topic, like motivational messages is number 1. And then I have something to reference back to so that we don't get confused about what we're talking about, if that makes sense. So here's our 1, motivational. 2 is social media posts. 3 is producing some visual content. 4 is data analysis. 5 is website content. And what is 6? 6 was client newsletters. And so we'll say, let's create number 1. Now, you can put any tone you want. You can say you want it to talk like Brene Brown. It will throw a lot of vulnerability into that subject, okay? You can find your own articles you've written online and tell it you want to make sure that it mimics your tone and voice. You can do that with other people's tone and voice as well. All right, so what did we come up with here? Well, motivational message. Team Meyer Tax, your dedication and hard work are the backbone of our success. Okay, this is cool, but I like emojis. So I'm going to say add emojis and make even more emotional. Sometimes GPT will come up with more emotional stuff than I even have in my own heart and soul, y'all. It's pretty interesting. There we go. So here's some emojis. And you're bringing your unique strengths to the team. Together, we can create extraordinary results. Remember, every challenge we face is an opportunity to grow and excel. Let's keep pushing forward, supporting one another, reaching new heights. I like it. That is so motivational. And you can go on to tweak this as much as you want. All right, we're moving on. Go on to number 2 task. See how I'm correlating it back? Because I don't remember what number 2 is, but I know I had 1 through 6 of things, right? Okay, so it's social media posts. Create engaging social media post about our latest product launch. And oh, look at that. It remembered. So I did not tell it in this chat about Jane and the wrap feature, but I talk about it a lot. And by the way, you can have this thing transcribe anything you want. On your phone, there are 2 features that I love about ChatGPT that you can't get on the browser app. Now, there is a new desktop app available for Mac already for 4.0, not available yet for Windows, which is what I use. So you might be able to get these features there, but for now, only on your iPhone or cell phone, you're going to get search capabilities within all of your chats. All right. And what was the second one? Search capabilities with all your chats and audio recordings. All right. So I saw Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, give the best suggestion ever. Dave sent me a clip the other day. He hits the little audio record button, which you can't see because, you know, the weird thing I got going on right now with my background. But you hit that audio record button within the app, you set it on your desk, and you just talk to it while you're doing other stuff on your computer. Amazing. And imagine if it has everything you're talking about and doing throughout the day. Imagine what it can bring to the table there. So that's a great tip. All right, let's go on. Number 3. All right, so it can make images, infographics. You can upload a picture of yourself and tell it to create a cartoon. That's what Dave did earlier with me. And so
I forgot to ask everybody if they liked my virtual cartoon Jackie.
Oh yeah,
bring up that slide again.
You can do a thumbs down if it was awful. I know, it was so bad, wasn't it? No, I'm just kidding. All right, so it first will help you walk through instructions on how to do it. And then it asks you, do you want assistance creating it? And I say, yes, please. I have no idea what it just suggested, but I bet it's going to be great. Now, it still has some problems with spelling. It is not great at spelling things, but our CMO, Sarah, gave me the best tip ever a few weeks ago. And I'm going to show you this because you have to dive in and experiment daily with this to learn and to know how to use it to its fullest potential. Let me check the chat while this is producing that. Make sure everyone is good to go. There we go. All right. So cool infographic, but a lot of misspellings. So if you click over the image that it creates, it will take you into a more deep dive view. You can click the little paint icon here and go over the transform or whatever word that you have an issue with and say change. I have so many things on my screen right now. And a lot of times it will do a good job. I would say an infographic is probably one of the hardest things for it to create because it has so many different aspects in there. You'd have to be pretty detail oriented with what you describe, or maybe walk it step by step and then piece the images together. But there's logos it can do. There's all kinds of neat images and futuristic type stuff that you can play around with here. It's a lot of fun. Let's see what it comes up with here. Don't make me a liar, ChatGPT. Did it work? Kind of. All right, moving right along. All right, go on to the next task. What is the next task? Data analysis. Ooh, I love this one. You can upload an Excel file. You can upload any document you want. GPT 4.0 has what's called vision, and it allows it to understand and read images like the back of its hand. If someone's visually impaired, you can walk around and have it up on your phone. and it would actually be able to see what you're doing and describe it to you. It's really, really amazing stuff. So we don't have a ton of time to jump into the details of that, but just throwing stuff at you to know what all it can do. And I do have an example of Excel that I'll show you a little bit later. So let's go on, next task. All right, this is helping write the copy for a website, making sure that it's optimized for SEO. There it goes. And I could tweak the tone, the language. I could say this is too repetitive. It's been found that actually being polite is helpful. I don't know, because of the way that it processes language, that it just happens to respond nicer to nicer prompts. But a good old thank you and please never hurt anybody, right? And here it's suggesting some visuals. So we'll do create image, although it takes a little bit longer to do the imaging, especially when we're sharing screens in a Zoom. But I'm curious what it's going to come up with here. So ChatGPT 4 has pictures baked in. There used to be what's called plugins. This is to answer someone's question in the chat. Now it actually just embeds it in here. I have to say, I kind of liked it having DALL-E, which is the image generator, separate, because it's looking a little cuckoo with these pics that it's coming up with right now. But I bet you anything they're going to get that fixed soon enough. And we'll see some cool improvements. Next task. All righty. So let's say I wanted to create a personalized client newsletter covering relevant news. Dates is another thing it's a little bit struggle bus with, okay? So it doesn't necessarily realize that today is May 17th, 2024. So I just tell it and I say, hey, I want you to come up with news articles that I can share with my clients within the last 30 days of this date. Also, the models get updated within a certain time frame of information. And GPT 4.0, I believe, is through December. Well, 4.0 was through December 2023. I hadn't seen if 4.0 is taking it further into 2024. I don't think it has quite yet. So you got to think back, what would I have known in December 2023? And if I wouldn't know something that was released a week ago, then you can tell it to go browse the internet. Sometimes it'll tell you it can't, but it's lying, okay? So sometimes you have to be really specific and say search Bing. That's the program that it uses to search for, let's see, what did it come up with here? Oh, it already did it all for us. So there's a new tax legislative alert. There's source links here for tech innovations and tax planning. I told it I wanted some AHA statistics in my newsletter. So there you go. Client spotlight. That's fun. Wonder where that goes. Probably nowhere. Okay, yeah, that's a fake link. By the way, you can also actually tell it, don't lie to me, and fact check yourself. So if I said fact check yourself here, I don't want any lies. And you can bake that into your original custom prompt that's in your settings here, your custom instructions, and that will help it guide it down a more honest path on a day-to-day basis as well. Okay, cool. So yeah, so it looks like it is pretty much just plugging in the read the story doesn't take you anywhere. And so you'd have to plug in that information. Of course, you could tell it a case study. Like I had a client, I just saved what was amidst 900K, charged 90K. They were so happy, tell their story and produce an image of them. So it takes the 5, 15, 20 seconds of information that you know and expands on it and saves bukus and bukus and bukos of time. Oh, Mrs. Meyer tax report. Isn't that cute? All right. Oh, look, and it even suggested a client testimonial. That's what I would tell y'all to do anyways. As you have success in your practice, ask for testimonials. Clients don't want to do any work, right? Just like us. We want to do as minimal work as possible. And so you can even offer to write the testimonial for them and then them tweak it if they're going to, be a problem child about getting it back. So that's pretty neat. All right, so those are some of the baselines. I'm going to hop back to our slides because I have a lot more to share here. And we don't have a lot of time. So give me one sec and let me hop over, make sure that we get through some more things I want to share with you. How's everybody doing? Are you awake? Wake up. Yes, one thumb up. Okay. Oh, there we are. That's where everybody is. Love it. Love it. Okay.
Getting a lot of great comments. Some people, here's what I'm seriously impressed.
Ooh, that's what I live for. Okay. So I want to talk about what being an AI-driven firm looks like and some of the apps that we utilize. And I'm great with AI, but I can't apparently navigate a PowerPoint slide at, in mid-afternoon. Okay. So let me go back here. Goodness gracious. Okay. There are, of course, some ethical considerations. You can ensure accuracy with it. You can maintain transparency with it. I gave you some sample prompts here, so take a screenshot of this if you'd like, where it just says, hey, fact check yourself. This response was partially generated by AI. Protect your sensitive data. If I accidentally load up something that has a social security number on it, please don't read it and tell me not to do that anymore. And check yourself with those biases, okay? Because everything does have biases. We all have hidden biases that we have to deal with, and so does AI. And if you have no idea how to use this product, this is the one thing I want you to learn from our session today. Just ask it. How can you help me? I'm about to meet my friend for lunch. I'm worried about how to tell them that they're mansplaining things to me too much. How can you help me? And it will come up with like the most eloquent script for what you need to say to your friend that is going to save that relationship. Okay. It's pretty amazing. Here are other ways that we use AI at our firm. I have way too many note-taking apps. If you've been in a Zoom recently with me, you're probably super frustrated. We use read.ai, which has the best action items that you're going to get, I think, out of all the apps that are out there right now. But Notta is best for live recording. If you're not in a Zoom, but you want to record what's on your screen, or you're in someone else's Zoom and they didn't let in your read.ai, you can actually still record it and transcribe it for your notes using a tool like Notta, which is pretty cool. Canva for design is awesome. PowerPoint has Copilot now. Copilot is actually based on GPT-4, and then they layer on top of it. That's exactly what we did with Jane as well. We layered it with our coaching and consulting knowledge for tax planning. Of course, TaxPlanIQ for tax planning, y'all. Beautiful.ai or Prezi.com are my two favorite AI-enabled presentation makers. You pop in your script from ChatGPT-4 or from Jane, and it will automatically create most of the presentation for you. Zapier is so easy to use now. You just pop in like you're talking to AI. You say, hey, I need to connect Taxaroo to TaxPlanIQ, map these fields for me, and it does all the logic behind the scenes. It's beautiful. Copilot is great for some SaaS applications. Synthesia or Ally, I don't know exactly how to pronounce it, but you can literally upload a video of yourself and copy your voice and your look and feel and have a talking mouth. Yes, it's creepy, okay? But it's magical. So get on board, y'all. Transcribe everything, and GPT-4 or 4.0 for everything as well. All right, we talked about this earlier. I do want you to realize how much work is going into these AI products on a minute by minute or hour by hour basis. Jane, I pulled a log last night, actually. I was finalizing this script, and I wanted to see how many things get updated in an hour. And so 42 things were changed within 1 hour when it comes to tax planning and advisory work with Jane from GPT-4. And that's just that one tiny little niche. So imagine all of the information that these natural language processing systems and LLMs are using on a day-to-day basis. It's just, that's why I say they're like the smartest genius in the world, right? This is a little timeline. If you're not familiar with ChatGPT and its history, most of us didn't know about it before early 2023. I didn't use it before GPT-4 hit, and I was looking up why. There were actually restrictions put on this, thinking that it was like unsafe for humankind. Back in 2018, when GPT-1 came out, that was the basics of natural language processing capabilities in NLP. 2019 brought us GPT-2 with some improvements, but it still wasn't widespread enough. 2022 was 3.5. I didn't even know about it then. And then GPT-4 hit the news, had, all these people telling me I had to use it, and I became, its biggest fan. And then now here we are in May 2024 when 4.0 was introduced for higher accuracy, improved data processing, better voice and image inputs as well. And some people predict GPT-5 is coming this summer, but we didn't know about 4.0 coming. So we'll see if 5 comes out soon or not. As I mentioned earlier, that's all about experimentation. If you don't know what to do, ask it. Use it for everything and anything you're doing, and you will be so pleasantly surprised with the results that you can get. Now, our next activity, let's see. Oh, we're at the end of our time. Okay. So I'll talk you through this, and you can test it on your own. Screenshot it if you'd like. What I'm going to do is you can plug in the TCJA expiring provisions and have ChatGPT 4.0 search that up for you. In my 10-year-old's terms, search it up. Then create a client letter for you, create training PowerPoints for you, analyze a Form 1040. You can hop over to TaxPlanIQ to do that, of course. Generate compliance checklists around it, and then completely automate some data entry and other compliance things that you might need to do to make sure that you're complying with that new tax code. And so I just said all that in about 5 seconds, but gosh, y'all, that's about what? 20 hours of work plus to process all of this tax code language down into one tiny little summary within minutes. It is fabulous. Okay. So again, crazy mad fast is how we went with this workshop, but I hope that y'all enjoyed it and go have some fun with it.
Well, crazy mad fast is how people will be for their efficiency using this stuff. A lot of people say, hey, we're going to this is going to get replaced by AI, or this type of role or whatever is going to get replaced by AI. No, it's not the AI that's going to do it. It's going to be a person using AI. So getting used to this and using it daily is going to be a big thing. So, all right, we're going to take a break for about 4 minutes. We're going to be back here at 3:15 p.m. Eastern. And we have our last panel of the day, which is Ask Me Anything. So we've been compiling questions. We got a lot to get to, but keep the questions coming. We'll try to get them all in. So see you guys in a few minutes.
Awesome. And if anyone is hanging out and you want to play a little game with me to stay awake, I want you to guess if this is real or fake. Is it a deep fake picture or a real picture? I'm going to scroll through these real fast. Here we go. Picture number 1. Picture number 2. Picture number 3. Picture number 4. Real or fake? Picture number 5. The answer to come when we get back from our break. All right. See y'all soon.